Alright, so to give you some context, Konf or Konstantin basically set up a challenge to edit raw files from Tobi Brown clothing brand. So basically they were doing an advert and Kon put together all the raw files and gave us lot to go ham with it basically. Now because your boy is a huge fan of both Kon and the Sidemen, I knew I had to take on this challenge. Side note, if you don't know who Kon or the Sidemans are, the chances are you're probably living under the rock. For you lot, well basically Kon creates photography related content on YouTube and he adds a lot of funny personality of his into his content too. Sometimes he also does different challenges that somehow relates to photography at the end of the day. On top of all that, he also manages the filming side of Sidemen, you know, the British YouTube group full of 7 lads basically producing entertainment content, and they got their own channel as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna make a huge impact or not, but do check those guys out. Link for them will be down in the description below. Alright, so I've enough sucking up to them. So I took on this challenge and did what I had in mind, and here's the results. So yeah, this took me 3 days, and not because it was hard, it was because I was just lazy, to be fair. So yeah, there were about 300 submissions in total, out of which Kon selected the top 15, and guess what? Your boy made it on the shortlist. So I have already watched their reaction because I was just eager to know, but let's now watch them together.
I like the colour grade on this already. Oh!
The colour grade is sick.
That was one of the things that they kept on talking about, was the colour grade. You know, I don't know, I'm just really happy.
Sick. This is a 6 star.
Thank you, Toby. So that was one of the things that I look in the music is high pitch vocal, like da 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 da.
Wow.
He's amazing, you can tell.
Yeah, I love the grade.
Thank you.
Pop it. Wow.
Hey, he noticed.
See how
he
you
noticed.
flip the hat on his head.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
That's sick. I want to watch that one more time.
And he wants to watch it one more time. What else can I ask for?
The grade on this one is incredible, you're right.
Hey.
Slick.
Slick.
Oh, you guys.
The guy had to ruin his Instagram grid layout
right.
for this video. That's
He
dedication.
can archive it
that's
if he really
dedication
wants.
right
It's
there.
very sick.
Alright, so those were their reaction. Now I'm gonna show you my thought process and how and why I edited the way I did. So first of all, this is my timeline. As you can see, I took about like 12 different layers of videos and 7 layers of audio, just because I wanted to manipulate different stems of music and add a lot of sound effects. For video, as you can see, this is my structure. I add a lot of shit in the bottom, and then the last 2 on top are mine, mostly color grade and color adjustments. I think that's how normally most of the editors edit, I don't know, but this is my style now. But this is the way I do it. So overall, this edit consists of a lot of wrap stabilization, just because a lot of the footage was shaky. Again, he explained it in his video because the gimbal couldn't handle the heavy camera. And apart from that, I added a lot of speed drums, and the good thing from Kon was that he actually filmed the entire project in 50 frames per second, which actually allowed me to slow down and speed up a lot of the footage. Now, something that Toby was on about how the start was sick, well, it was low-key inspired from Top Gear's intro. As you can see, I'm using different sections to highlight the details of the product, and I added ILLVZN logo on top and bottom just to fill that negative space. And because the black background didn't really look nice compared to what Top Gear did, I added another clip in the background, dimmed it down so it wasn't interrupting with the actual one in foreground. And yeah, this was the result. Not because this on its own wasn't really nice, so I added my sound effect as well. In this case, it was actually fishing rod. It worked really well. Listen to this. It just looks like something mechanical rotating, and that was to give the effect of ILLVZN logo moving about. I'll actually turn off all the sounds and let you listen to it. So this is how it sounded with the sound effect. So do you get what I mean? It's sped up at the end just to again compensate the faster speed ramping. And yeah, overall, I feel like without that sound effect, it wouldn't have mattered as much, but in my opinion, it added a lot of that flavor in it. Okay, so after that, I added a lot of chaotic stuff just so to give that glitchy effect that I wanted to go with. As you can see, the frame is getting smaller, bigger, and then I'm adding ILLVZN logo at the background, again, to fill that negative space. And yeah, apart from that, most of it is just speed ramping. I slowed down a lot of footage like this one, and then I sped up at the end to create a transition. And yeah, mostly again, it's just speed ramping. Another thing I wanted to do was add the interval section where I separate two different types of clothing. So first it was just a top and a hoodie, and then I added this interval section, which then transfers us to the jackets and hats. And talking about hats, Tobi and Kon really like this effect. Well, what I believe, they initially shot two different shots. One was him flipping it about, and then the second one was him putting it on. Now, because I can use the advantage of glitchiness, because that's my overall theme of the project, I decided to merge them together, speed it up, as you can see, it's plus 400 right now, and then chop it off as soon as it puts its hats on. Does that make sense? I'm going to show you frame by frame so you can easily understand. So as you can see, it's sped up to 400%, him flipping up his hat so you can't really notice, and then suddenly it chops off to him putting it on his head. And then again, using that glitchy effect so that they don't notice I actually chopped off the clips. When you merge them together, it gives you this effect. And then also to help the viewer audio-wise, I added some sound effects like these. And that whoosh really helped portray the idea of him spinning it quickly and then putting it on his head. When you mix all this recipe together, you get this. And that's when Tobi said, slick. Lastly, really quickly, something that I really like from Epidemic Sound is that they provide you individual stem from the music, so you can separate the vocals, the drums, the snare, whatever. It's really easy that way to manipulate music to your taste. As you can see, I chopped off the start bit and the ending and merged them together, and it has really nice ending now, just because I had that control over my hand. And yeah, that's about it. Overall, it was glitchy themed, and it had a lot of speed drums and rap stabilization, and when you merge them together, this is the result. So yeah, what do you think of this edit? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or what would you have done differently? Let me know down in the comments below. So if you like this video, do leave a like, because it really helps with the algorithm too. And also, if you're interested into photography and filmmaking related content, then go down below and subscribe. Right now, I think I'm on 330 subscribers. You know what? Let's set a goal for ourselves. Let's have 500 subscribers by the end of this year. I don't see it coming, but I've got my fingers crossed. So yeah, you never know, I might end up achieving 500 subscribers. That's a new goal, so go down below and show me your support by subscribing. And with that all said and done, that was me reacting to Kon and Tobi reacting to my submission for Kon's branded, not Kon's. Okay, let's try this again. That was me reacting to Tobi and Kon reacting to my submission of Kon's challenge of Tobi Brown's clothing brand. Anyway, I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye. Peace.